Hello, welcome to Our Time. Look, here I am, all alone. Where is he? No interruptions. No, Malcolm is actually talking to someone that is performing something special.
Thank you, Janice. I'm actually sitting on the stage of Star Theatre 2 with the two stars of this amazing talk show called The Jack and Annie Show. So please meet Jack and Annie.
Thank you.
Welcome to Our Time.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
It's your time now too.
Oh, thank you.
Now tell us about your fabulous live talk show.
Where do we start?
Oh my gosh, from the top?
Probably from the end.
So during the show, obviously your plan is to have a whole lot of guests on.
We have so many guests.
Oh, Malcolm, we have absolutely so many guests. We've got guests coming out of our ears,
It's
really.
like we have a guest, then we have another guest, then we have another guest.
And right after that guest, there'll be, well, another guest.
Another guest.
Oh, and then another.
So what's the highlight of the show in anticipation?
Well, I would say the guest, but it's probably more me.
Don't forget me. Oh, and our musical guest.
Oh, yes.
Who is your musical
Oh,
guest?
well, you'll have to wait and see.
Exactly.
Is it a surprise every night?
We'll just say it is a rock star, super sensation of a guest.
Yes, exactly.
And who actually books the guests for you?
The producers.
Yes.
Right,
Oh,
Yeah.
so
right.
many
Well, we
guests.
don't actually meet them because they're always behind
Yes,
the scenes.
exactly.
Aren't
We
they?
haven't met them ourselves. So.
No.
Oh, haven't you?
No.
No.
Okay.
A lot of texting.
So, but during the show, you've got a whole lot of interesting segments, like...
Oh, of course. Because we're all about helping people.
Yes, and
Right.
we're helping
Yes.
people right now. You'll go.
right.
Yes.
There's the write-in.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we get people to write in their problems,
Yes.
and people have a lot of problems.
Unfortunately,
Having seen the show, there was somebody who had a bit of a problem written in blood. But we
yes.
probably shouldn't talk about that, should
Yes.
No.
I don't want to
We
talk
don't
about
like
that.
to reveal any secrets.
But I really did like the cooking part of the show.
Oh,
Yes.
cooking with Carol.
Yes, well,
Yes.
our mother is a terrible cook,
Oh,
but she tries her
terrible.
hardest.
But she couldn't make it on the night, could she?
Oh, well, she was tied up.
Yes. Very
But
tight.
one of you stood in for her?
Oh, well, me. I mean, I am a National Shakespeare performer.
He's very good.
Very
Right.
talented.
Well, look, let's have a quick look at a few clips from the show, just to give everybody a taste of what the Jack and Annie show is made up of.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and Gentiles,
Who?
and welcome to The Jack and Annie Show.
Our very own talk show.
Written by,
Jack and Annie.
directed by,
Jack and Annie.
sponsored by,
Special juice.
the juice that'll keep you out of the news.
You need to work on that tagline.
You need to work on that tagline.
All right.
We both need to work on that tagline.
Reports.
Reports, reports,
Everywhere.
reports, reports, reports,
In my hair.
reports, reports, reports,
On the ground.
reports, reports, reports.
In the pound.
It's time for a giveaway!
Please don't give me away again. I can't do it.
Annie, what are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. Carry on.
No, it's time to give back to the real stars.
Tom Cruise, Penelope Cruz, Caribbean Cruise.
No, silly. I'm talking about the audience.
What? They're not stars. They don't have their own talk show.
I know, Annie, but without them, we wouldn't have our own talk show.
All right, the real stars. You.
So that gives you a bit of a taste of what the Jack and Annie show is all about. And let's be honest, it's not the sort of show that you're really expecting to see if it's a TV show. Is it really Jack, and Annie really Jackie? Jack.
I am
Annie.
Jackie.
I'm Annie.
Exactly.
This is Jack.
Yeah. But in reality, these are the two real people
Yes.
with the two real people's names that we're now talking to.
Yes.
Yes.
It was just less confusing.
Exactly. So this was a Fringe show as part of the Adelaide Fringe.
Yes.
And the audiences just loved you. They laughed the whole time. And it's interesting to see an original comedy take on a TV show.
Yeah.
I mean, Fast Forward has given us a whole lot of TV host characters, but this is really a Today take on character. Did you base it on anybody or anything in particular?
To a degree.
Yeah, I think we just wanted to take the formula of a talk show or a Today Show and kind of just mess that up.
Yeah.
and it
Throw it in a bowl.
Exactly.
Just pull out what we
All
can.
the awkward moments in one.
Yeah.
they are, and they're so beautifully awkward.
Yeah.
And during the show, we sort of wondered, do these two people actually like each other or not? But the reality is, for you two, you do.
Well, we like each other in real life.
Yeah.
Because
I hope so.
because where did you both meet each other?
During high school.
Yeah. Well, we met at a local theatre group.
Yeah, Jack was playing Charlie in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes.
Because you were not this size.
No.
Because now
I
you're
was
what?
pretty
How tall are you now?
But 6'4".
Yes, 12 foot 8, I would have said.
Yeah.
But where was this in Australia?
This was in Newcastle.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're product of Newcastle.
Yes,
Yeah,
we are.
yeah,
Yes. Full.
And from that start, what happened next?
God, but it was just sort of a chemistry
Yeah.
and a connection that
Yeah, I think
continued on.
we had a friend come and see the show from Newcastle, and we hadn't seen her in ages, and she was like, it was just like watching Jack and Annie, and we're like,
Yeah.
hence the name. So it's really, we've just had that dynamic from the get-go, and we've always wanted to turn it into something.
Yeah.
And what better?
It's funny though, isn't it, how two people just can do that, just connect together.
It's very rare. You have to
Janice,
hold on to it.
Janice and I, who do the show together, we've known each other since she was a teenager and I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
So you just feed off each other really comfortably.
Yeah.
And that comes across in the show. You've got this lovely, I've said to you before, this lovely rhythm that moves through the show, that's a comedy rhythm that just keeps building the laughs all the time.
Yeah.
So your plans for the future with this? What are your plans for the future?
Yeah, we just want to keep working together and writing.
Yeah, and I mean, because this is like, our banter is just constant, so we are constantly like, quick, write that down.
Yeah.
So I think we'll continue to adapt the show. We're looking at doing more fringe festivals around the country, and then maybe even turning it into a web series.
Yeah.
I reckon you must do that. There's so many avenues that you can go down, and you can see that in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And for people who aren't familiar with web episodes and how to access them,
Yeah. Oh,
The
definitely.
internet.
Yeah.
of course.
YouTube.
but is there anything there that they can see right now? Have you recorded any of the
so
show? Have you done any?
Well, the producers that are working with us on this, that's Paper Studios. I was just the lead in a web series for them, and it's called Ghost Board. Yeah, it's
Right. Are you
just as
crazy in
wacky
that
as
too?
Yeah. It's
So
Do you have
crazy.
lovely
Wacky.
hair like this?
I don't. Well, not quite as lovely, but just as big. It's 80s instead
The
of
bigger
60s.
the hair, the smaller the waist.
Yes,
That's
we
my
understand. I'm all in
motto.
proportion.
But you're not a drag queen, are you?
No, I mean,
You
who
could
knows?
pass.
Yeah. Move over, Kate Blanchett.
Well, to me, as somebody coming from sort of my age range,
Yeah.
to me, I'd love to see you doing something like the girls that did the catering show on the ABC.
Yeah.
Because I think,
show.
We love
in a
that.
way, it's got that same sort of black comedy aspect to it.
Yeah.
But it moves along so quickly, like their little vignettes that they were doing.
Yeah.
And I think this is something you should work on. And I love the fact that the truth is that no guests appear.
Yeah. The big reveal.
Big reveal.
Yeah,
Well,
we
I
wanna
guess
share.
you sort of wake up to that in your opening spiel, really.
Yeah,
About
exactly.
because
Give
no
away.
guests are named, and neither is the big musical star
Yeah.
Yeah.
or any of those things. But it's
Yeah.
just a really funny piece. So, what do you want to do when you grow up?
Oh God, aren't we grown up?
I think just writing and performing is what I think we've both always wanted to do.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like a passion that you can't
Yeah.
get rid of.
This is we kind of wrote this show. We were like, we'd love people to come and see it, but if no one does and no one likes it, we love it so much
Yeah.
that we're just happy performing it.
Yeah.
No, it's very fun. So, for anybody watching this who's perhaps interested in comedy and is genuinely interested in finding where they fit, did you feel that you found a niche that you fit in? Do you
Yeah.
feel that you can build from this?
Yeah,
Definitely.
And I think it was about just trusting our sense of humor and our chemistry that we have and our banter that we have. Like I think it helps when you've got friends at parties who will just stand there and watch you talking, and then you realise everyone's
Because you're talking rubbish.
because we're just talking rubbish in the corner.
But there's just so that people understand your character even more, there's a sort of a Jennifer Saunders-ish thing about you.
Yeah. I mean, the Patsy and Eddie dynamic is sort of something we've...
it's the dynamic, but it's not a copy thing. No. You're a John
But
Cleese.
she always says she's Eddie, and I
I'm
want to be
Eddie.
Eddie. I could be a John Cleese.
No, you're John Cleese. But you're not John Cleese either, because I can actually understand you. But some of your physicality for physical comedy is really extreme because of your height.
Yeah.
Your lovely long arms and legs, and that's very funny.
Go for it.
It's
I'm
not
tall.
Yeah, well,
I can't
exactly.
change it,
Embrace.
Exactly.
So from where you started, did you need someone to say, you guys are funny? Did you need that, or did you just feel, I think we've got something to offer?
No, I don't.
I think we knew. I think that we've just been waiting for the right time to come together.
Since you were how old, maybe? Since you were how old, do you think?
God, I was born funny.
Came
out the wrong way.
Cracking jokes.
I just looked funny.
No, but it's like, did you meet at primary school when you were 4 years old and you just, hello, you're a soulmate type thing?
I think it slowly developed. We met when we were 14 and we were both performing.
I was
like
close.
We had
I was
to
just one out.
Exactly.
It's a shame that, I suppose it sort of started again, but it's a shame that the things like the comedy company that started the Magda Zabanskis and people like that, who are fortunately still doing those things, but it's a shame that we're not really looking for the group that stimulate each other at the moment. But maybe you're the nucleus of a new one.
Oh, hello.
Nothing like being a nucleus.
Yes.
So you're planning to go on to do from this Fringe here in Adelaide?
Sydney Fringe Festival is the next one, and Sydney Comedy Festival. So
Great. Well, rave reviews here in South Australia. So for the rest of the country, if you see anywhere that says the Jack and Annie Show, make sure you catch it. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Annie.
Thank you, Malcolm.
What an interesting couple. But stay with us because we'll be back with Pamela Cinieri. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you very much. I love that. I love their show and I love the couple. They're just really funny.
Are they?
Yeah, really, really funny. So we have a new guest.
We do. Pamela Cinieri is here with us. Welcome to the program, Pamela.
Thank you.
But Pamela isn't a new face to television viewers of this channel that we're on because you already host a couple of shows.
An old face. That's
Oh, in the nicest possible way.
Yes, we do. We already host 3 shows. Fire Starters TV, The Burning
But you've got
Question,
a new one coming.
and
That's
the new
third.
one is It's to Live For, the Weight Loss Challenge.
Right. Please explain.
Well,
What is it about, actually? Do you
Well,
have people that come onto the program and talk about their issues with their weight, or
no, we
how does it-
selected 5 participants, and we wanted to call them participants rather than contestants because no one's getting voted off or booted out for being naughty. You know, it's a challenge because these guys are living their real lives.
Yes.
They're not in a boot camp, secluded away for 4 months. They're actually doing life and losing weight and getting fit.
So in their normal, everyday surroundings, surrounded by all what they would normally...
temptations,
That's... Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I guess we're all becoming a little bit over the reality TV shows, to be frank, because I think the public is starting to realise that they're not actually real, that they're television.
No, only
which
we're
means
real.
they're set up. Yeah, well, in fact, that's true.
Yeah.
Because we don't rehearse anything, as may be obvious from time to time, and we genuinely just have a chat with the guests.
That's right.
And the things that hopefully interest us interest the people at home.
Yes.
And that's pretty much the shows that you're currently doing, aren't they?
Absolutely, and that's also the formula, I guess, for the weight loss challenge because it's not scripted. It's just whatever happens, and we chat, and we're just following these guys through the highs, the lows, and you know, for some of them it's been easy. For some of them it has been really hard. But when we came up with it, you know how someone sees something and say, oh, it's to die for. And a friend of mine, who you've had on the show recently, Janie Morris,
Oh,
we
yes.
were talking about this, because I hate it when someone says, you know, who wants to die? You know, life's a gift.
Quite.
Let's enjoy it. So we thought, no, it's to live for, the weight loss challenge, because as we lose weight, we gain health. And these
But that's
people
really
have a
interesting
life.
when you say that, because I hadn't thought of it in those terms. But when people say it's to die for, clearly they mean it's the last thing you want to do before you die. It must be the intention.
Oh,
So to
yeah,
have
no,
that
yeah.
cake or that cream bun or that
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
and eat it and
Curl your toes up.
doesn't
yeah.
quite make sense. But I suppose in a way that's what that saying really means.
Absolutely.
If you keep eating that or drinking that or smoking
Yeah.
that or whatever, it's
Yeah.
to die for.
Of course.
I haven't thought of it in those. That's an interesting thing. Let's
Yeah.
have a look at the promo of your show,
Yeah, let's.
because that's a good way to understand what it's about.
It's to Live For, the Weight Loss Challenge, is a new show hosted by Pamela Sinieri and coached by Janie Morris and Max Kavanagh. It follows the everyday lives of 5 ordinary Australians as they lose weight and gain health. Follow their adventure over 8 weeks and see the transformations. You too can achieve your best life. It's to Live For, the Weight Loss Challenge is coming to a screen near you.
So, Pamela, it's actually not about dieting as such, but giving people the healthy choice.
Good nutrition, teaching them how to use food wisely.
Right.
And exercise, unfortunately, always comes into it. But we've been bombarded with, if you're not pumping huge weights, then you're not cutting it. If you're not in a gym 5-7 days a week is ideal, you're not cutting it, you know, which is nonsense, because really we're meant to be moving. And so we need to just re-educate ourselves that movement is good.
Do you think it's because
Just
in this day and age, when you think back, say 60 years ago, I remember my mother had a Ringer washing machine, so
Yes.
she had to put all the clothes
Wind
through
it
and
through, yes.
all
Oh,
of
we
that
used to do
stuff, and
that.
had a copper that you had to light and boil the water in the copper and boil your clothes with the big dob of blue stuff in it and all of that. Then you'd go outside and lift all the heavy sheets and blankets on the line. I'm saying what I guess was in those days called women's work.
Oh, yes.
But
Because
at the
women are
same time,
stronger.
but a woman would then be, you know, heaving a baby around the house or cleaning the house.
Yes.
And it would have been a lot more physical than all of the appliances we have.
Absolutely.
And alternatively, for men, most of us drive to work or catch
Yeah.
a bus or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm interested when I've travelled overseas, particularly where there are subways or underground, where people have to walk up and down steps, like say in the UK or Singapore or
Yeah.
Tokyo or places like that, and they seem to walk more. And
Yeah.
I've noticed you don't seem to see so many overweight people there
No, that's
because
true.
they are walking more in
And
those
have-
cities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah, and that's something that we've just become unfamiliar with. And, you know, how easy is it? Put the washing in, put it in the dryer.
Yes.
It don't even hang it up.
No.
How do you keep slim?
Genetics, I think, to be fair.
But that's a relevant point too, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So
it is.
if people are overweight, is that partially genetics too, do you think? Or is that just luck of the draw, or you like the cream buns too much?
Yeah, I think so.
But it's also
last
to do with the metabolism too, isn't
course
it?
it
Some
is.
people's metabolism is...
But there are ways to restart your metabolism
Yeah.
by eating differently. And, you know, Paul, my husband, he started on this regime when we started the show. And he said, well, you know, I can't put these guys through it if I'm not doing it.
No, valid
and,
point. He's producing the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he dropped 11 kilos
Good heavens.
in just under 8 weeks.
I told him not to wear that heavy belt around. No, but what a joy when you know that you can lose that much and still be healthy.
Yes, and I guess Paul's family, being Italian, they have a predisposition to be a little bit heavier because they like food, probably.
The Italiano.
The pasta.
Yeah, yeah. And the more the better.
Yes,
And,
yeah.
you know, and so it's different things for different people. I mean, one person certainly can eat cake or carbohydrates doesn't affect them. With me, the foods that I prefer to eat are cheeses and olives. They're my anchovies, all the salty things I love. And they're the things I probably should eat less of, but I can get away with eating more carbohydrate. Other people, it's complete reverse.
Different, yeah.
So how did you choose the people to be on the program?
It was an interesting selection process because a lot of people put their hands up and said, yes, we want to do this.
Because they wanted to lose weight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when they found they had to be on television,
Then they didn't want to be a part of it.
No.
Okay.
That's interesting, isn't it? Because I
Yes.
suppose we do it, and I mean, we love doing the shows, but we do it and it's such a natural thing. And,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
you must feel the same when you have guests coming on the show.
Yeah.
It's like going to the dentist for a tooth removal sort of thing. And yet, for us, it's...
No.
We just sit down and have a chat with some
Yes,
friends.
that's right.
And that's, I mean, obviously we love it or we wouldn't do it.
I would have thought too for people that are on this program that it would actually be something, if you're committing to it, if you're on television, you have to stick to it.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so.
Go wrong here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you would have thought, you know.
So how many weeks does the program go over? Or
8 weeks.
8 weeks, right.
Yeah.
So there are 8 programs in the week? In the 8... Sorry,
in
a
the
program a
series.
week. Let's get it right, Malcolm.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
program a week
Yeah.
for 8 weeks. Okay, and how were you introduced to this particular program?
Well, it was something that we were sitting around over lunch with Janie and we just kind of dreamt up, you know, the things you
Okay.
dream up over lunch.
Well, it's true though, but she was obviously quite ill for a while.
Yes, she was,
and,
yes.
And she investigated ways of getting better
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not self-medicating by any
No,
means,
no, no,
because
no.
as she said, it was about eating good, healthy food.
Saving her
or
life.
a food-based,
Yeah.
a food-based diet.
Yes.
I know that sounds silly, but you know, some of the food we eat...
Is rubbish.
Well, there's a big question, is it really food?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm always interested with the people that criticise fast food. The reason I'm saying this is because you as a consumer always have the opportunity to decide, will I have, in these days, you can have the salad, or will I have the bun with all the whatever.
Yeah.
So it really is about people's choices. The fact that a supplier gives you or offers all these things, it still is your choice at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I suppose, though, fancy advertising and making you feel like you want to be part of a group eating particular foods that aren't necessarily good for us. So what's good about the food that's involved in the diet?
It's pure nutrition. It's very high protein.
Protein, right.
So it's not that there is no carbohydrate, because you need carbohydrate.
Yes, we all
Otherwise,
do.
you wouldn't have any fuel to keep going. But the way we're doing it is we're replacing 2 meals. And generally that's breakfast and lunch. Some people are doing breakfast and dinner because it suits them better. And then they have one proper meal. Now, that meal is probably a reduced calorie meal from what they have been eating, but it's still a decent sized meal. And they can have potato or rice or pasta.
Oh, okay.
They just can't go overboard.
But they're
with
often
it.
the things missing from
Yeah.
regular diet.
Just a smaller amount.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, look, hold
a
that thought for a
reasonable
tick, and
size.
we'll come back and we'll get a little bit more information
Okay.
about when the show is on and
Sure.
where we can have a look at it. We'll see you back in a tick.
Welcome back. We're talking with Pamela about healthy living, really, isn't it? About the good choices
And
that
the
you
brand
make.
new show that's only on
Yes.
for 8 weeks, and the fact that you can see people diminishing,
Yes, amazing and disappearing people.
not completely though. I often wonder how small can you get when it's too much? How
Yeah,
far do you
still-
go before
still
it's
be
too
healthy.
much?
Yeah.
And still be healthy, yeah.
Yeah.
So this program is going to be all over Australia.
Yeah.
And if you're seeing this program, wherever you're watching this program, you can always download an app if you're not going to be able to catch up with
Yes.
any of the episodes. So you can download that to
That's so
actually
good.
watch it on your mobile device, whatever that may
It's
be.
excellent, isn't
Or
it?
on your TV at home at
Yeah.
a time you want to watch it. So what's the end result? Have you made the programs yet, or are you right in the middle of it?
We're in the middle of it.
So you can't give us any
The result.
insider information? Let me ask you a specific question.
Yes, ask
you can
me a specific
do that or
question.
that. So you're halfway through.
Yeah.
Has anybody lost more than 10 kilos?
I think one is round about there.
Okay, and that's
Yeah.
in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Well, it is, but you know, everyone loses weight at a different
Different
level.
Yes, of course.
And so it's
The bigger you are, the more you've got to lose, I guess.
and that's a very valid point. But you know, it's not a competition, and so it's often harder for people. Sometimes the heavier ones, but sometimes the ones who only need to lose about 10 kilos. It's harder for them to get their head around it. Talk to me later.
Yes.
The other shows that people can catch you on are The Burning Question.
Yes, that's right. And Five Starters TV.
Right.
Which
And that's
is-
right here on the networks that you're
Yep.
watching right now.
That's right.
Pamela, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We've
Good
had
luck.
such a mixture today.
Yes.
A send-up of a talk show and a real one. All in a half an hour. What more could you want?
That's exactly right.
So until next time on Our Time, we hope you'll keep yourself nice till next time we meet. And
please take care. We'll see you then.
thanks, Pamela.
Thank
Bye, everyone.
You.
We didn't talk about this.
Yes, we did. One lucky viewer could be the owner of the lovely, the bubbly
Please don't let me
Annie.
No! You can't give me away!
All you have to do
Get lost.
Tell us in 25 words or less why Annie would make the perfect addition to your household.